I think this is fifth session. First week two, last week one session. This is
Oh, I
Yeah,
named
yeah,
as
correct.
fourth, but anyway, I'll
yeah.
rename later.
Correct.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Welcome to PMC New York. Today we are going to uh, learn Ramtha's wisdom through Master Ajay Babu. Welcome, Ajay. We are all
Yes,
waiting for you.
thank you. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm waiting for start the section. Thank you so much. Uh, Before I start my session, I would like to convey my gratitude to Brahmashi Pitamaha Patrishi to introduce Anapanasati and vegetarian to me. And I, from my bottom of heart, I would like to say gratitude to Master Teacher Ramtha for teaching this ancient wisdom. Thank you so much. So, so I think the day we start, or the day we want to learn this Ramtha knowledge. So I think in a few sessions the entire perception will change. That's the beauty of Ramtha. Ramtha knowledge is all about revolutionizing the personality, right? It's all about thought process. It is all about changing the thinking pattern. So, right? Because that is a root cause, that is the root where all problems arise. So anyone knows what is the cause for any challenge, any problem, or any grief, or any sorrow, any fear? What is the root cause? Anyone knows that?
Or thinking only.
Yeah, yeah. We can thinking fine, but what thinking? What is the see? I think um,
Fear,
thinking fine.
fear,
Yeah,
fear, fear based.
yeah. Fear based.
Fear-based thinking.
My question is, what is the root cause that fear? For example, you're getting fear. What is the root cause of that fear?
Expectation. Expectation and unknown feel, unknown feeling. Handle it.
Right, ma'am. Why do you expect?
Uh, in the sense, why do you expect unknownness?
Yes.
Because
We
we are thinking with our mind, not with the soul, and we are more
we
on this level. So that's basically it is.
Very good. So that means you are limited. Your thinking is limited.
That's right.
I would think. Right. So you're thinking that I'm body. You're not thinking that I'm soul or I'm divine or I'm God. You're thinking that I'm limited. See, we are defining God as an unlimited thinking. Let me redefine. So God has a unlimited thinking here. Alright. So when you think I am body, when you think I am personality, when I think I am person, so and so person, that means you are limiting yourself, right? So a limitation comes from your ignorance.
Mhm.
Let me repeat, the imitation or the way you think that I am body or my personality, that comes from your ignorance. Okay. So the ignorance, or in Sanskrit we call avidya. That is the root cause. That is the Gautam Buddha also said that one ancient rishis are, I would say, Patanjali also addressed same thing. The root cause of suffering, the root cause of any problems lies within avidya. We don't have knowledge about that. That is a baseline. That is a basic thing from where all problems are arising. Right? How to address avidya, how to address that ignorance. The ignorance we call it as a dark, right? The ignorance we can symbolize or we can analogically represent that as a darkness. How to remove darkness? How to remove darkness?
if we lit the place, then we can
That's
remove darkness.
that lightening up, that showing the light is all about knowledge, right? So knowledge is the light and ignorance is the darkness. How much light, how much knowledge you acquire, that much darkness you can throw it from your life. Right? So here I want to address what exactly knowledge is all about. Knowledge is nothing but it is a light. That's why in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Jnanagdi Dagdha Karmana. Jnanam is knowledge. With that knowledge, you can fire or you can, what you call, throw away your karma. Karma is your pattern. I would say here, the aspect of karma in Bhagavad Gita, he talks about karma in two sense. One is actually action. When you repeatedly do same action, that is called pattern, right? That is called vrittis, right? Patanjali talk about the yoga definition is chitta vritti nirodha, right? Chitta vritti nirodha. Chitta means your subconscious mind, right? Chitta means your subconscious mind. In subconscious mind, you have patterns. In so many incarnations, you are doing same thing. How did the pattern comes? Because of your conscious mind. You're thinking same way. You're thinking in same way in daily, so that that pattern was picked by subconscious mind. It is thinking that it is right, or it is the thing I want to do it. For example, every day you wake up the same thing, every day drinking coffee for so many years, your subconscious mind believes that you want coffee. That's why every day it automatically reprogram you such a way that if in morning you wake up, you want to have a coffee. Where does it lies? That chitta vritti is your subconscious mind. How did that form? Continuous repetition in conscious brain. So the logic here is the thing which you repeat in your conscious brain, automatically that will sit in your
Subconscious.
subconscious. So that means the thing which we do, that Ramtha, that is Ramtha language, that is a common thought. The common thought which you put your in yellow brain or conscious brain, that leads to or that settled in your subconscious mind. So you got the path, right? How you program any subconscious mind is repetition. That's why the affirmations we do, or that's why we do classes regularly. That means when you do these classes or when you do this affirmation or when you, what you call, when you rememorizing your knowledge, so that it will, some point of time, it will sit in your subconscious. It automatically done. This is automation, right? In order to do automation, you need to repeat that same thing for a number of times so that it will sit our subconscious. Actually, that is not the purpose of subconscious mind. The subconscious the purpose of subconscious mind is to connect with universal mind. That is the real purpose. The real purpose of subconscious mind is to connect with universal mind, which is not limited. So the purpose of subconscious mind is to make you unlimited. The purpose of your God is make you unlimited. In order to become unlimited, you should acquire knowledge. So that the barrier here is in some conscious mind, you will break the barrier which stopping you to become unlimited, that will go away. The box or the limitedness or the what do you call, you can have one what do you call, wow, you have one form of identity you have, that nothing but your personality, you can call it as a alter ego. Ramtha doesn't say ego, alter ego. Ego is fine. Ego is, that is a divine quality, that is the ultimate I am. So yeah, they have three different I ams, right? One is body I am, soul I am, you can call it as all that is I am, or God I am, right? So when you think personality I am, or when you think body, mind, consciousness, when you think this is body is I am, where your limitedness is there. What causing you that? That cause for that is ignorance, right? From ignorance, you have that alter ego, or you can call it as ahankara. From that ahankara, you are getting that fear, suffering, attachment, raga, dvesha, right? So the root cause of this raga, dvesha, or you can call it as fear, you can call it as a attachment, or you can call it as any suffering quality or any non-fear, non-loving based emotions you're getting, or fear-based emotion you're getting, the root cause is ignorance. So to eliminate or to remove that ignorance, we are giving knowledge. So does knowledge only help you? No. Knowledge with practice, that makes you experience. When you practice that knowledge, that will become experience. From that experience, you will get wisdom. From that wisdom, you will understand the truth. So when you understand the truth, so that will part of your life. Okay. So from the truth, you live the life. So if we have 7 level of truth, right? So how you refine the truth is based on what are the experiences you have. The more experiences you go through in your life, you refine the truth, so that you will always in evolution state. That's why in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, do karma. Don't ever be a karma, right? So always do action. So that at least you will know either two things. Either, see, by doing action, you can learn two things. One is either we can do the things in way, either we can learn saying that, okay, I don't want to do the things this way, right? Both are fine. At least you know that I should not do things in such a way, or either you know I want to do the things in this way, right? So that's why always do the action, so that you will learn the things and refine the truth what you have already. In one day you will reach the unlimited truth, saying that we are all one, or everything is same, or everything is one. And that's why in yogic terms we have one phrase called sat, ekam sat vipra bahudi vipra vipra bahudi vadanti. That means truth is once, but wise men call it different names. Right? So today I want to address the ignorance. Where does that ignorance lies? How can we address that ignorance? So Buddha says same thing, the Patanjali says same thing, the everyone says same thing. Krishna also said same thing. So they they use different terms, right? So Buddha never used papa punya or virtue and sin. He never used that. He used avidya and vidya, ignorance, right? Buddha used those terms, right? Ashtanga margam, or you can call it that noble path. He used that big all suffering, the root cause of all suffering is avidya, right? Similarly, Ramtha is same thing. Ramtha told something. He doesn't say about choose sin. He always says ignorance. The ignorance, because of ignorance, that causes you to suffer. Once you give the knowledge to that ignorance, it's gone. Light comes, right? Where that ignorance in our body? Anyone can address that? Where does the ignorance in our body? We know ignorance is causing, but where does that ignorance lies in our body?
Conscious mind.
What is that?
Subconscious mind.
Very good. Where did the subconscious mind directly cannot pick it? Through conscious mind is picking. So basically your ignorance lies in your yellow brain. Just put your hands, how much place you're occupying, that is the yellow brain. This is your subconscious brain. This is your personality. This is your godness. This is your divinity. This is your lower mind. This is your higher mind. You can name it different ways. Conscious, subconscious, you can differentiate two things. This is matter, this is antimatter, this is body, this is spirit, or you can call it as this is lower brain, this is a higher brain. You can call it as this is a personality, this is your God. You can name anything. This is 3 chakras, the higher chakras, the higher 4 chakras. You can segregate in any way. But I want to address that the ignorance we are accumulated in so many incarnations, that is nothing but this is here. This is your neurons. How you firing? How you thinking? Are you thinking based on your ignorance or patterns you already had? Are you thinking with knowledge? That's the difference. As one man said, the thinking is the root cause. But what make you think in that way? Always you think based on how much knowledge you have, what is the perception you have, what are the experiences you have. Based on that, you always always take decisions, right? So let me share my screen. I want to address how your brain so vritti is nothing but thinking or mental process, or you can call it as chitta vrittis, right? Vrittis, mental process, how we process things. So this is the tree where ignorance is the trunk of the tree, right? The ignorance or avidya. The avidya has different branches. One is fear. In Sanskrit, we can call it as abhinvesha, or aversion, or you can call it dvesha, or raga means attachment, ego is asmita, right? This is a Patanjali language where he is representing. This is the branches of ignorance. This causes us to suffer. These things causes us to fear. Where does exactly these things, how can you exactly map these things into our brain? Let me share the another slide. Yes. If you think this is our brain, so this is actual scientific representation of brain, but Ramtha doesn't picture in this way, but I'll show you how Ramtha point of brain, but this is the actual scientific or any doctor represent the brain in this way. In that, this is the, you can call it, this is the part where entire this part. So this all 1, 2, 3, 4. This all things comes under conscious brain. This is the part where you find the cerebellum or spinal cord. This entire blue and red comes under your subconscious. Okay, so this in that 1, 2, 3, 4, you can segregate into 4 parts. The 4 parts are different: frontal lobe and temporal lobe, or occipital lobe and parietal lobe. These 4 lobes belongs to 4 segregations of that Patanjali point of view. So here front lobe has avidya. That is the main thing. From that neurons, it is going to all different places, right? From avidya, we are getting abhinveshna, that is nothing but fear. From avidya, we are getting this asmita, that is nothing but ego. From avidya, we are getting this ragadvesha, right? Right? So, where is avidya? Your yellow brain, your neurons, basically this front lobe. This from all your brain connections are lies in this front lobe. This is called front lobe. This is called neurocortex. In neurocortex, this is a place called frontal lobe, right? This is the frontal lobe that all neurons connection starts here. From your entire body connections lies in here. That's why when you focus over here, that connections will go to every part of your body. For example, your toe is itching, right? Your right leg toe is itching. So that how does that brain knows? Because the toe to the connection from toe to brain is there is some connection. There is a neurons connection, right? Through the connection, you get to know that okay, there is a itching in your toe. That means this is a place, this is a sacred place, Ramtha. This place is called the seat of the god. Ramtha says this place is called seat of the god, where every connection to your body has already established here. So when you change the perception here, where when you give in the knowledge over here, because this is the place of avidya, when you change that avidya, when you give the connection, you are changing the program, or you're changing the pattern over the body, right? So that's why this place Ramtha calls seed of the god. That's why in Hindu terms or ancient days, you call it as a Brahmarata. We write our destiny over here, right? Because you're already defining the things here. When you change the thing over here, automatically everything will change. right? That's your place of the sixth seal. That's a place of the third eye. That's a place of Sudarshan Chakra. In Krishna says Sudarshan Chakra, Sudarshanam. Seeing in right way. That's the name of Sudarshan Chakra. Shishupala, nothing but that's the ignorance. Shishupala means Shishu, right? How does Shishu came? The Shishu came from Avidya. Avidya has given birth to ignorance. Sorry, that Avidya has, ignorance has given birth to alter ego, Ahankara. Right? So with that, how Krishna killed Shishupala through Sudarshan Chakra. So what is Sudarshana? Sudarshanam. When you see the foreseeing the future, or when you foreseeing your desire, when you foreseeing the dream which you want, so that the dream will kill, or the dream will eliminate the things which stopping you to in order to achieve the dream. That's the symbolism has kept in our stories, right? So we want to understand in such a way. So you can understand any story or any drama. You can understand in the brain perspective, so that it will you can easily digest that knowledge. Right. So I want to address here your avidya lies in your yellow brain, or your neurocortex. In a scientific term, we call it as a Ramtha perspective. This is called yellow brain. Doesn't like yellow, but you want to represent that yellow. Okay. So for name perspective, Ramtha knowledge, it is called as yellow brain, where your avidya lies. So I earlier I told you that brain is the architect. Brain is the architect. Whatever the raw material you provide to architect, he build the construction with that material only. For example, your raw material has such a way that it is ignorance, it is fear, it is alter ego, or it is jealousy, it is lack, it is disbelief. You are giving every day, you are giving things to your yellow brain. These are the things given to yellow brain, right? So that it will construct reality based out of that raw material only. If you change the raw material, instead of disbelief, you change the raw material disbelief to belief, fear to love, and lack to abundance. So that right now, what are the things you are giving to this, because of Ramtha knowledge, you are changing your raw material, you are changing your avidya to knowledge, or ignorance to knowledge, so that your brain will construct reality in these raw materials. Love, fear, love based emotions, or abundant, or belief, right? Or compassion. So here the Ramtha knowledge is all about revolutionizing the personality, or changing this yellow brain, so that automatically subconscious brain will change. He knows how to change program over here, so that automatically subconscious brain will change. He knows that because he's a master teacher. So I want to address here is, so how you change this yellow brain, how you change the program over here, by simply focus on that. By simply focus on that event is already happening over here, so that the brain will understand the language of images. That brain will convert that image into chemicals. That chemical is the language of this entire body. That's why Ramtha called thought is nothing but it is an electrical, neurological, chemical pattern. Let me repeat. The definition of thought given by Ramtha is nothing but it is the electrical, neurological, chemical pattern is called thought. That means you are taking consciousness as an input to your brain. You are converting that consciousness or thought into image using your neurons in your brain. That image converted into chemicals through your limbic system in your brain. That hormone is the language of your body. What does hormone contains? Hormones contains amino acids. What does amino acids contain? Amino acid contains peptides. What does peptides contain? Peptides contains message, information. So whatever the image you are keeping over here every day, or whatever the thought process you are going through every day, that is defining your life. So masters, I want to address here is how much you are aware of your thinking, how much you are aware of what are the thoughts you are going through every day. So that is the root cause of your life to become suffering or any trauma you are going through. So in order to change that, first you should change that thinking process. In order to change the thinking process, you should have knowledge about that. So that what are the knowledge you are listening, in order to understand that the language, the neuron should fire. That firing is called light. When you fire the neurons, light comes. When you say any word, when you want to utter any word, when you want to recollect anything, when you want to do any function, you want to fire the neurons every day. Firing nothing but the connection between neuron, it will fire electrical impulse. Right? Where does that firing comes? That firing comes by thinking, by alive. You are alive, right? Because of that, you can able to fire the neurons. Where does that firing comes? By taking a thought and thinking about that. For example, I want to build a home. I want a new house. When I say that thought is everywhere. That conscious energy is in the form of pure potential form. When I taking that potential and converting that potential into some picture, some refined thought, some images, from thought to image, where that lies knowledge. In order to thought become the image, in between the thought and image, there is something called thinking process, thought process, or knowledge. For example, I want home. There is no knowledge on that. How do you build the home where then where knowledge comes? How do you build a home? That depends on person to person. For example, if I say, let's dream the house. Here 20 members, 21 members are there. If I say, let's dream the house, so 21 members thinks in different ways. Some things duplex house, some things some apartments, some things different structure. So how does the differ? The difference come from what are the experience you have on that particular house, that are not the knowledge about your house or the desire about your house, that defining the thinking process about that particular dream. So the catch here is how much clarity you have, how much desire you have about the dream, how much persistence you have about the dream. Right? In order to achieve the dream, these things will differ to person. Take Cristiano Ronaldo. Since 15 years, he waking up the 5 o'clock and doing the meditation, visualization. Every day he does visualization. See, people think that he's praying. No, he's not praying. He's visualizing that my business is good. I'm visualizing that he is visualizing that my everyday or I'm visualizing that I am become the champion. I am taking the trophies. I am winning the medals. Every day he's thinking. 15 years, since 15 years, he is doing that. Recently, he is telling in one video. Since 15 years, you're doing that sincerely, that practice. Here, things, practice, and how much desire you have about that particular dream, how much you are practicing, and a third important thing is how much clarity about you have. Clarity, practice, and consistency or sincerity, how much you have. So those things defines whether the particular dream comes to reality or not. So the first thing you should understand is the reality is creating not with what assets you have. The reality is not creating what wealth you have. The reality is not creating how much money or how much what you call assets you have. It is based out of how much knowledge you have and how much practicing you are doing, how much you desiring about the dream. That is a measurement, right? That is a measurement, not how much wealth you have, how much what you call property you have. That's a physical thing, right? So when you understand that the reality, the what you call the measurement for dream to become reality is not how much property, how much money I have. It is all about how much knowledge I have, or how much thinking process I have, or how much unlimitedly I can able to think the dream, right? That is the real measurement, because the thought become the light we are giving the shape of some object, shape of some particular image. That image is converted into electromagnetic energy. That electromagnetic energy is converted into reality or matter. So when you understand your entire brain is creating your reality, and see, our task is to create what you want and why you want. These things you should know. What you want, why you want, right? For example, I want a car. Why do you want a car? It is our desire within you, or you are seeing your neighbors has a car, beautiful BMW, Lamborghini. That's why you want that Lamborghini or BMW. So you should check what do you want. What do you want is a what do you call how much clarity you have. That's a question related to clarity. Why do you want? That is a question related to what how much desire you have, right? So you should always check what I want and why do I want, and how it comes. When it comes, leave it to nature, leave it to Father, leave it to God, because there's a permutations and combinations, or there's a different events to should happen in order to you to get that particular event. For example, I visualize saying that I want to take medal from Narendra Modi. I want to take medal in BJP government. For example, in 15 years back, Congress government was there. In order to get that different government should change, it takes time. So, for example, if you go to fifth level of consciousness or sixth, seventh level of consciousness, you immediately you create consciousness energy into matter with the fraction of second, like Patriji or like Sai Baba or yeah, Krishna's. You can directly convert that consciousness energy into directly matter. Right now, we are not in that state. We are right now evolving to that state, right? But at least by visualizing, we can create indirect way of manifestation. That is nothing but through runners, through some events, through some persons, we get that reality. For example, I want jalebi. Directly, we cannot maybe we are not in the position such a way that we cannot manifest chocolate or ice cream immediately. That's fine, but we can visualize that maybe some person will bring you, or you may will go to ice cream shop and you will buy that. So it can happen anyway. That's fine. Our purpose is to have the ice cream. It's not our aim is, our goal is to just eat the ice cream. It's not how it is coming. It is not when it is coming. When you are satisfied, or when you are one with that dream, in a way that I have already had ice cream. When you feel such a way that if I have already had that ice cream, I have that ice cream feelings in my brain or in my mouth. When you have that feeling already within you, so that event will always you attract, because that belonging feeling we have already, that complete feeling you have already, so that you always your body is ready, or sorry, your brain is ready to attract that event. So just simply your focus, but you are not feeling that I have already that. You're not feeling that you're not feeling that that event is not already happening. So when you feel that, you always in still lack feeling, right? You are always in fulfillment, right? So when you dream such a way that, when you know subject such a way that thought or image or consciousness energy or thought is creating matter, we should get conclusion saying that matter not is creating matter, or antimatter or spirit or conscious energy, or you can call it as a thought creating the matter. So that when I focus on the thought, when I focus on the dream, that is enough. When you get that conclusion, your spirituality is completed. We always doesn't, we see, generally we are bringing we brought up in such a way that if you have physically material is there, then we feel like we have already have it. So it is not in the way in spirituality, in spirituality, or in what you call, in reality. So the reality created from spirit, right? It created from thought, created from energy, created from consciousness energy. So when you able to feel that conscious energy in your brain, where this is a part of brain, when you can feel that image, when you can feel the dream, that is enough. It's a matter of time, it will comes to your reality. So in between the dreaming the dream, in between the secondary, this is the primary reality, right? The primary reality happens within our body, within yourself, because I am visualizing that thing, right? The secondary reality happens after some time. It takes some time because some events should happen. For example, I am dreaming I want new job. In order to get the new job, that you want to send the CV, you should go for an interview, and you should have selection process. They should release the offer letter. You have the joining date. There's the number of process, the number of events should occur in order to get offer letter. But when you dream, there is no time. You are moving space-time dimension. You are transcending space-time matrix. The space and time are there in right now this physical plane. When you go beyond this physical plane, we're just visualizing there. There's no time. There is only oneness. There is no pure consciousness energy. There is no only now state. There is no present state. When you are in that present state, when you're visualizing the things, when you are focusing such a way that is already event is happening, the realities happen. It's a matter of seconds, a matter of time, a matter of days, that electromagnetic energy to become the reality. That image become the reality. It is a matter of time. In between that primary reality happen within our brain, the secondary reality happens after few days or few years or few months. There is a gap, right? The time gap is there, right? That's a game about physical plane. For example, if you are in dream, if you think I am drinking the coffee will come. If you go to astral planes, if you just think I want chocolate, the chocolate will come. In physical reality, in order to electromagnetic energy become the physical matter, it takes time. For example, the goldsmith is melting the gold, and in order to shape the gold, you should heat it, right? You should heat the metal. You should heat the gold metal, and it is in a red color, right? And in red color, he gives the shapes. When that in melting form, he can give the shape, right? Similarly, when is in thought, is the light form. In the light form, you are giving the structure to the light. You are giving the structure to light such a way that I want new house. You are taking the light and given structure to the light, that convert into image, electromagnetic energy or image. That image should become the reality. That high temperature, image nothing but high temperature. Light is more temperature, right? So the temperature should go down or slow down its temperature. So in order to slow down its temperature, it takes some time. For example, goldsmith is heating the metal. In order to cool down or warm down the temperature, it takes some 5 seconds or 10 seconds, 1 minute time. Directly it cannot become ornament because it is in heat. Similarly, in our thermodynamics, in our physical reality, we have thermodynamics. In order to have the rain, you should have formed the clouds. Clouds should melt, then you should get the rain. There is some time, some gap between cloud formation, get the rain. Similarly, in between the thought you are thinking or dreaming, you are visualizing, and the reality you are getting, there is a time gap That's the game we have. So how much confidence you have, how much belief you have, how much analogical brain you have, saying that I will get that particular, I will manifest, or I can have that reality in my life. So in order to have that patience, in order to have that constant thinking process, in order to have that belief, we should have more practice. You should have more experiences. When you have more practice, the visualization thing, when you have more practice, when you have more knowledge, when you have more beliefness in your Father, when you have more belief in your God, you will have that much patience. The patience comes into picture once you have done that particular practice of visualization. In between the visualization, in between the physical reality happening, there is a gap of time, right? That in that time, how much patience you have, how much positive thinking you have, that's what mastery defines. That's where practice defines. That's where your personality comes into picture. So once the visualization done, you are thinking that maybe I won't get it. Maybe I'm not eligible. Maybe I'm not right person. Maybe some person is eligible. Maybe a market there is no much jobs. Maybe you think that maybe BMW is too much cost. So when you are limiting again yourself, obviously you are saying that I won't eligible. Again, even though you created that event, you cannot attract that. There are two things. One is creating and attracting. You created that, very good, but you are not able to attract because after visualization, after practicing of that dreaming the dream, you come out of the dream and remaining 23 hours, you are thinking that I am not eligible, I am not worthy, maybe I don't get it. So you always focus on not only in that 1 hour of practice of visualization or half an hour practice of visualization, you should always think, what about remaining 23 hours? What about remaining 23 and a half hours? How am I thinking? How am my thinking process? Where does my awareness goes? Right? That's where that awareness comes. That's where the meditation comes into picture in order to give the awareness. When you practice the meditation, the awareness automatically increases. The awareness in the level of thought, the awareness in the level of thinking process. When you are aware in such depth level of awareness, you can change. For example, maybe you get the thought saying that I am not eligible. Immediately you said I am eligible. I am eligible. When you rephrase that particular phrase, you can rechange the particular word. It automatically that program will again change, even though you get negative thought. In order to do that, you should have awareness in thought level or thinking level. Right? So tomorrow I will teach you the brain parts, how each part will help you. Right? Today I give the summary of that. So tomorrow I'll teach you technical aspect and scientific aspect of brain, what each part of brain, how it is helping. And I think after next class, I will teach you epigenetics or DNA, how brain is influencing your body, how the signal is sending. So I think in 4 or 5 classes, we can summarize. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ajay. It's wonderful. Like I heard about this manifestation where how, like, our thoughts create our own reality. All these things are known to me at least. But the thing is, today I learned mm, the, like, kind of anatomy of our brain, where avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, and all those things, where they are lying in our frontal lobe, and how we can change our reality by changing our thought pattern. Thank you so much. I have a question. This is like, our neurons fire, right? When we are thinking and when we are using our brain. But what happens during meditation? Can we say that our neurons are very calm during meditation?
Very good question. So there are a lot of researches going on. I had few changes at that. So I think we have Dispenza, right? Dr. Joe Dispenza is also a neurologist, right? He also told when you do meditation, he told that left brain and right brain is in synchronization. He observed that the activity of what you call hippocampus was more, right? So I'll tell you what is hippocampus, something like that. So he told that more neurons firing connection was more stable, connection was more strength, right? And recently Ramtha told that one of the video, he told that when you are in no thought state, generally no thought state doesn't exist, but thought free state. So thought free state are when you are in that what you call stillness, right? When you are in stillness, when you are in no thought states, he told that reverse firing will happen. Generally, firing is the personality is causing to fire. The personality is thinking in such a way. But when you are in no thinking state or sorry, thought free state, when you are stillness, the reverse firing will happen because the spirit is taking over body. Right now, that higher body is functioning.
Oh,
So,
wow.
because of higher knowledge is firing that neurons instead of the already what existing personality we have. That's the beautifulness of meditation.
Wow. Thank you.
That's why in meditation you could be able to see some of the your past memories, some lights, because in between the gap between neurons, that is the void, that is the all potential exists. That right now, instead of my personality is firing this way, instead of that, my higher bodies are my second, third, fourth, fifth body is firing these neurons. That's why you're able to see astral travel. That's why in meditation you could see third eye visions.
Visions and colors.
That's the beauty. That's why in order to go to that void space, the gap between the thought and thought, you should observe the breath. When you observe the breath more and more, then you should go to stillness. You will go to thought free state. It is a thought, nothing but thinking. The personality, body, mind thinking. You are stopping that. We're not stopping higher thinking. For example, in meditation, you want to build pyramid, you want to do some particular rally. Is it not meditation? It is meditation, but it's not about body consciousness. It is about higher level of consciousness. So it is generally people misconception that we should not think in meditation. It's not about that. We should not thinking about body, mind, consciousness. We should not think about personality. When you transcend that personality, you will get into higher state of bodies or high state of consciousness. Then you may get some suggestion. You may soul maybe speak, or you maybe get the suggestion from your higher bodies, higher masters, or you already some people are in only that voice state. If anything is fine, but you should transcend that personality. You should transcend that body mind consciousness, body mind thinking, food, money, job, relationships. You should transcend that. You'll go to higher level of consciousness.
Right. We shouldn't be in survival mode.
Yes, we should.
Yeah.
More.
Shrikant? Yes, you raised your hand.
Yeah.
Please.
Namaste, Ajay Garu. I have one question when you mentioned about, Krishna says take action. Okay, so but I have a contracting point here. See, when we are fully focused on taking action, we create more and more of karma, positive karma, negative karma, and that cycle keeps on repeating, right? So, I don't know whether we should do so many things in this lifetime, or just take what is necessary, be in that stillness, and then one day raise to that higher level consciousness. Because I see lots of, for example, lots of politicians, so they are having very much of fire and they want to do left and right, but there are also negativity where people wants to pull them out, and then again the next term starts up. So they have lots of people karmas, right? So they promise something, they want to do something, and then they are unable to do. There's some they can do. It's like so many millions and millions of people. So today also I saw something happened in the US. One guy is 31-year-old. He's trying to address a rally, and then he was shot with a gun. There's I don't know. He his karma is like that. That go to a college and then sit there and address the audience, and then you get killed. He could have been lived in a very peaceful state, and then do his own work rather than going to lots of people and then getting hit. So how do you define this?
I understand. I got. So here are two things, sir. I told earlier, when you dream the dream or when you take any action, you should have clarity about two things. One, what I want, why should I want? So what are the people who are talking about politicians or any businessmen? They don't have a clarity why they want. For example, they want to start the business. For example, I want to be happy person. So they know their goal is not to be happy. Their goal is to want to prove somebody. They want to prove that I am richest person. I want to prove to the society that this is always showcasing or projecting, or they're operating from already go consciousness. I want to have name. So most of the working for name and fame. When you are in that trap, you never come out of that. So that's where spiritual practice comes. When you are practicing meditation, you think that I am not body mind consciousness, I am not the personality, I am beyond that. When you understand that, you will come out of that name and fame, so that you know you will earn the money, but not in the sake of not in the purpose of getting the name and fame. You are earning the money based on you want just food, you want that just clothes, that's it, right? So that when you know when to start the game, when you have clarity, you don't have any issues. The politicians or businessmen, they start the game, but they don't know how to when to end it. They are in control of that business. They're not controlling the business. They're in control of business. So that is what you call controlling them, right? So in spiritual business, not like that. For example, if the moment I don't want this business, I stop that because I know I can create, right? Or I don't want it because end of the day, my purpose is to be happy. My purpose is to become freedom. So what is their purpose? They want fame, obviously they'll get problems. If you want freedom, fine. Even though you have this much quantity of money, you don't feel I am lack, because you know physical matter or physical things not defining your personality. How much knowledge you have, how much thinking you have, that is defining actually your real I am, real self, right? When you know real self, you don't bother how much money you have, you can create. But see, spiritual people generally, when you completed all your personal experiences, for example, name, fame, sexual relationships, or when you complete any enjoyments, then you'll move to spiritual what you call spiritual realms, right? So you'll move to meditation, you'll comes into meditation. You've already done that. Maybe in lifetime you are doing for survival, right? You're not doing purpose of you want to achieve that. Already we done that in past lives. So people who are not done that in past life, maybe they try for this incarnation. Maybe next incarnation they realize that I don't want because I already have it. So unless until you go to meditation or practice of this spirituality, so you didn't know what you want. That's why when you sit in that stillness, you understand what you want really. So earlier we think that we want to do big job, that job, this job. After completing meditation, we want to realize that my purpose is spread the meditation. My purpose is spread the knowledge. You are changing your destiny because you know what is your real purpose. They don't know what is their purpose because they're not connected with the soul. They're doing the same thing. For example, maybe they had a plan to start for example, take the money. Maybe he had the plan to start the business, but not that is not the end purpose. Maybe end purpose may be different. Maybe because he doesn't know what is the end purpose, maybe it is that loop. Still that in that loop. Right, so that's why most of the spiritual people who has lakhs and crores, some maybe they donated and they came back. They went to forest, they went to some other places, they went to ashramas. They are real spiritual people. Spiritual people manage both physical reality and the spiritual things. They can balance, but should balance. We should not see. We want money, but how much you want? That's clarity we should have. What purpose you want?
Yes.
Okay.
To extend the answer to Shrikant's question, Krishna said, do karma. You shouldn't be sitting idle, do karma. So your question was, when we do karma, we are getting into that cycle again, doing right and wrong, and then gaining both aspects of results, right? So that is the thing, that is the game. Here, the spirit has come to experience, whether it is right experience or good experience or bad experience, it doesn't matter. As Ajay previously
I
mentioned,
think, yeah, Ramtha
it is the
perspective, known the
experience
unknown.
that you
Yeah,
wanted. So
yeah,
don't
known
sit
the
idle.
unknown.
Doing karma is your primary responsibility.
Correct.
No, when we sit in meditation and when we get that calm state and when your soul is guiding, right, you don't feel like doing certain things which you know that this may not be helping our soul path or life path.
Correct. Yeah,
So your
correct.
soul is
So,
guiding.
Yeah.
I think that intuition you have to take.
yes. I think two things, man. Here, one is when you get boring of one thing, nothing but you want new experiences. When does bored comes? When boredom comes when you have fully experienced that. For example, you had jalebi, right? You have 150 jalebi something. You are bored. You don't want it. That means you are fully experienced that experiences. You move out of that, you want to new experiences, right? So see here, two things are there. That why Krishna says we should always do karma means, for example, take my Bhishma Pitamaha. Bhishma Pitamaha did is he did some sapata or he gave some promise to his father Shantanu, saying that I will protect this entire kingdom. Right, because of that particular promise, he didn't marry and he didn't stop, even though some adharma is happening within his kingdom. So that's why Krishna says that instead of doing instead of doing anything, just do something so that you will know, you will get to know, you will learn something. Right, so that's the problem has based my head. That's why in last, so Krishna told I don't take any weapon in this war, but he was supposed to take that weapon in order to kill Bhishma because he's not listening. He's always telling I am dharma, I give promise, I am brahmacharya, I practiced brahmacharya for so many years, I didn't marry, I sacrificed my life. He told what purpose you did that? You did it purpose of your own promise, your own dharma, individual dharma, not because of samajik dharma. You have three dharmas, right? One is individual dharma, family dharma, society's dharma. So because of your own dharma, you are exploiting and you are spoiling samajik dharma, right? And that's what Krishna says. Because of your own promises, it should not affect society, right? So that's where compassion comes. He told that the root of the dharma should be compassion. The any given point of time, the dharma always lies on the compassion or love. If dharma is not falling under compassion love, you should not do that. That's what Krishna told to Bhishma. He has dharma, but is not in the form of compassion. The compassion is not there. Compassion is the root, dharma is the trunk. From the trunk, you have promises, different rules and regulations, everything. But underlying the thing is oneness, compassion. That should not miss. Bhishma missed that. When Draupadi was Vasabarna, he didn't stop that. When Pandavas trying to kill Kauravas are trying to kill Pandavas, even though he knows, he didn't stop. He didn't stop that. He didn't open his mouth because he stick to his own dharma. He's saying that because of ego, okay, I give the promise. I am given the promise to my father. That's why I want to stick it. If I is there, I is the personality of Bhishma. He transcended that in end of the war. That's why we got Vishnu Sahasranama, right? He only gave that Vishnu Sahasranama. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Ajay Babu, for explanation.
Thank you. Any more questions from anyone? Okay. If no more questions, we can conclude the session. This is a wonderful, you have brought in so many examples and for each point, you have explained it very well. Thank you, Ajay. Thank you very much. Thanks everyone for joining. We have the session tomorrow also. So please join at 8:30 for meditation, and then the wisdom sharing starts at 9 p.m. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you, Mona.
Thank you, Ammagaru. Thank you, Ajay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mom.
Thank you.
Thank you.